Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Thursday, August 28th. It is 6:19 right now. We got market opening up in about 11 minutes. Made sure I got up on time today and live streamed a little earlier. So got everything set up here. I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity as we prepare for the market open. And then once we have that marked up, I can start off with my analysis for the day. So let's go over here from the daily, go down to the 8 hour. Overall bias for today is looking bullish. I'll go over that in a few in detail. But from everything that I've posted and shared so far, everything here does look pretty bullish. But I'll go over that in detail once I'm done marking up the liquidity here. Going over to the 30-minute, 15-minute, ten-minute, and down to the 1 minute here. All right, looks good, guys. So good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, August 28th. It is 6:21 right now. We got market opening up in about 9 minutes. So see who's here so far. Morning, Karen. Morning, Maria. Morning, Daniel. Morning, David. Morning, everybody. So like I said earlier, guys, the overall bias for today is looking bullish for the day. You can see over here that the overall market structure is currently bullish here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. Everything's bullish, right? So that's indicating that we should be looking for buys with regard to market structure. On top of that, let's take a look at the overall direction of trend. So looking over here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute, 30-minute, 4 hour, and 1 hour, pretty much all the time frames here. Price is above the pivots. The trend meter is green and the pivots are angling up. The only caveat here is going to be the 5 minute, which is switching from bearish to bullish, but it looks like if it does continue to push up higher, it'll hold and remain bullish. So with that being said, we have a pretty much overall bullish bias for the day with regard to market at this very moment. Looking over here at my daily outlook for the day, currently for my outlook here, it is overall market bias slightly bullish with medium conviction. Macro data, GDP beat, jobless claims improvement, easing yields, dovish Fed pricing. So pretty much the fundamentals pre-market were bullish. It's favoring a risk on while YM's higher time frame structure is bullish. However, near-term overbought readings and mixed earnings sentiment with regards to NVIDIA causes temper conviction. So with that being the case, we have a 7 out of 10 moderate agreement for bullish conviction with regard to the fundamentals and the technicals. So with the alignment here, it looks pretty good for a buy. Pretty much technicals with regard to the trend, market structure, and then also with the fundamentals here are looking pretty bullish. For the news this morning, we had the jobs data over here. Jobs data was mixed. It was bullish and negative. For the most part, it was mostly bullish, so that's a good thing. And then we had GDP growth rate over here, which was also bullish. So with that being the case over here, I'm going to mark up the news at 5:30, which was this big candle right here. So we had news right here. And then we have news right here at 7 o'clock. And that's about it. So market is going to open up shortly. You guys have marked up liquidity over here. 6:24 right now. We have market opening up in about 6 minutes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat right now. As we get closer to market open, I'll know the direction of the breakout. We don't have that here right now, but in about we'll say 5 minutes, I'll know the direction of the momentum breakout. So right now we just wait and see. See if there's anything else here to take a look at right now. Uh, Not much. I mean, we'll wait for the orb once market opens up, but I've pretty much covered everything we needed to for the most part with regard to overall market structure, trend, and overall buys for the day. So let's take a look at this. I know some of you guys look at this, some of you guys don't. The trading scenarios that I posted for this week, they've been actually pretty spot on. So if you guys want to watch this here, specifically it says right here, wait for price to break and sustain above 45,800, which is going to be past the liquidity over here. If prices break past this Asia high, it looks like, it's likely to keep pushing up to 46,000 to 46,150. So about a 200 point move from that point. And then if price pulls back below 45,600 back down here where opening price is at, then that will likely fail. So these trading scenarios have been pretty spot on for the past couple days, past couple weeks, past couple months. If you guys haven't looked at them, this is something to maybe look at in case you are looking for opportunities for the bigger move, more of a swing trade or day trade for the entire session. These tend to pretty much align pretty nicely. So we'll take a look at that a little later. But yeah, like I said earlier, guys, we're looking with an overall bullish bias here, and we'll kind of play by ear once we get closer to market open. So 6:26 right now. We have market opening up in about 4 minutes. In the next 3 minutes, we'll have the direction of the breakout, and I will let you guys know which direction that is. Hey, Lila, morning. All right, looks like majority of people are here so far. I made sure I got here on time today, guys. Unfortunately, this week has been kind of weird for me. Uh, 2 days ago, I had technical issues with getting on the live stream. Yesterday, my alarm didn't go off because my phone was updating. And today I made sure I had a couple alarms set throughout the house to make sure I got up on time. And yeah, I got here a little earlier than usual. Got everything out of the way, ready to hit this market once market opens up. So, all right, we got market open up shortly. 6:27 right now. We got 3 minutes till market open. About 2 minutes, we'll know the direction of the breakout. Ideally, I'd like the breakout to be bullish because the overall structure and market here is bullish. The thing is, everything here is very clear that it should be bullish. So we might have some price manipulation here before price actually does push up. So we might get a manipulation to the downside on open, maybe a spike down, and then maybe a push back up. I know there's been a lot of chatter in the chat about FTMO, guys. So FTMO, if you guys remember, that was the very first prop firm that we used a long time ago. They just opened up to US clients. So um, before Apex and before any of these other companies were around, we used to use FTMO here. I haven't used them yet, so I'll have to, obviously I'll have to try them out and whatnot. But yeah, they are available to US clients, I'm assuming, or what I've noticed here. And yeah, it's cool. Their accounts are a lot more expensive, but their accounts make more sense. There's no trailing drawdown, and then their split here is well, basically, the max loss, max profit target is equal. It's 1 to 1. So it's a lot nicer to trade with FTMO. It just costs a lot more though. So the account for a $200,000 account is 1,000 euros, but it's a real 20,000 drawdown that you have with FTMO. So I think I'm going to be opening an account with FTMO and in the future. What I'll be doing with FTMO is I'm going to use that account as a swing account mainly because for them they don't have a trailing drawdown and you can hold a position until Friday. So you don't have to close it at the end of each day. You can hold it until Friday. So basically I'm going to take some swing positions earlier in the week, basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then offload my positions on Friday. So that's going to be something to maybe look at, especially for the people who can't trade in the mornings. But we'll go over that, at some point in the future once you cross that bridge. And also, like Andrew also mentioned, and you get the challenge fee refunded once you pass. It's such a great deal, guys, because like what happens here is you pay the 1,000 euros, And then once you pass the account, they refund you that 1,000 euro, and then you get a funded account, and you don't have to pay an activation fee. It's like it's a win-win. So I'll probably open up an account sometime soon, and then I will probably like I said, I'll probably just be swing trading on that account. So direction for the breakout today is going to be a sell, guys, if anybody's looking to take it for the momentum breakout. Like I said, the overall direction of bias is bullish, but we might get this pre-market or opening manipulation here first before it pushes right back up, right? So right here, price is pushing down. It pretty much knocked out all the liquidity here, so I'm going to clean this up a little bit. This is going to be very tricky for the orb, guys, because the orb here, I preferably would like to take a buy orb if that's the case. If we get a buy opportunity there, I'd be looking for a buy orb. But we'll kind of see what happens here as price moves along. All right, so we got price kind of dumping down a little bit. From here, prices dropped down about 30 points, 40 points, 50 points almost. So yeah, direction of the yeah, momentum break right there just hit full TP, it looks like, for 50 points. So full TP for the momentum breakout right there. Yeah, this thing's starting to crash pretty hard. I don't know if I'll take the sell here for the orb, guys. If you guys want to take the sell for the orb, I mean, feel free. But I don't think I'll be taking it myself because my overall bias over here is pretty bullish. I mean, this is just a quick drop to the downside. I don't know if this is going to hold actually. Like this might just be temporary. It might swing all the way back up. So we got the orb over here setting up. We got 25 seconds left on this candle. Yeah, this thing's starting to dump pretty heavy right now. All right, guys, if you're looking to take the orb for today, the orb's going to be right here. You're looking for price break and close past the orb low or the orb high, depending on which direction you're looking to take it. For me personally, I was looking for a buy today, so I don't think I'll be taking the orb sell here. I don't even know if this will close below it, but that's going to be the setup right there. So you're looking for price to break and close below the orb low, retest, and write it back down further. Ideally, I'm looking for price to push back up, so probably price push up here, retest the orb high, and then I'll take that for a buy there. So we'll see where price goes. I mean, we're getting a lot of extreme manipulation here, so obviously something that you guys should probably look out for. The momentum breakout already hit over here for full TP for 50 points. So momentum breakout right there, full TP, 50 points. That's done with. Over here on the orb has not filled yet, so orb is still currently pending at the moment. Hey, what's up, Sam? I haven't seen you in a while, bro. Yeah, it's good to see you. I figured you were on holiday. It was unlike you to be gone for so many days. So nice to have you back here, bro. You didn't really miss out on too much. This whole week's been choppy. So probably a good thing you took a holiday. All right, we got price kind of just sitting right here around the middle range of the orb, guys. There's no entries here right now. We're looking for price to correct back up. My overall bias for today was bullish, so I'm looking for price to swing all the way back to the upside. We don't need to have that here, but obviously, ideally, I'd like to see price swing back up. I'm surprised this was like such a huge drop because yeah, I'm surprised that this was dumping because Nvidia shot right back up. So S&P rises to record as Nvidia trades higher in post earnings comeback. So obviously people are buying the dip right there. That was expected. I don't know what's really causing the dump there. Nvidia in talks with US to sell Blackwell AI chip to China. Okay. All right, so we got nothing here right now, guys. Price is kind of just sitting right here. Again, if we're looking for the orb, you're looking for price to break and close below the lower orb level right here at 45,586, or you're looking for price to swing back up over here and break above the 45,682. Ideally, I'd like to buy orb, so I'm going to set my price there for the top. It's at 45. What is it? 682. So I'll look for price to swing up higher, maybe get that orb to the upside. I don't know if we'll get it, but I'll be watching for it there in case it does happen. Right now, the overall market structure is not very one-sided anymore. It's a little mixed now. So it looks like we had a sweep down here at this liquidity level, guys. So price came down, swept right off this liquidity, which was also the Asia low. So nice sweep to the upside right there for that. It's the first one right there. I'm gonna clean this up right here. Again, we don't have much going on. Price is kind of just sitting down here. If price drops lower again, you might have the orb low right there. But from my perspective, I don't think I'd be looking for some sells here. I think price is going to recover at some point. This might be a temporary drop. Let's check ES real quick. So these are like kind of moving kind of opposite of each other, opposite but similar. ES and YM. YM is dumped pretty much farther below though. Let's check NQ. NQ is also up. So YM looks like it's the only one that's dropped, but it looks like it's preparing for a correction back up. So again, if you guys want to take the orb entry, the orb low right here is at 45,586. I'm not going to take the orb sell here because the biases here are still indicating that buy should be bullish at some point. Um, I think this here is just temporary. I think this drop right here is just a drop in the bucket for now, and I think eventually it's going to swing back up. But right now, it's very unusual how price is moving here because everything else is pretty much moving pretty bullish with regard to the indexes. So let's go back to ES. Yeah, ES here. I mean, ES is dropping too, but I mean, it was holding up for a pretty long while, right? It was holding up pretty strong, and then now it's coming back down. So I mean, this might be the case where YM is leading today, and because NQ is starting to dump right now too. So with that being the case, maybe YM does have something in play. Right here again, if you guys want to take the orb sell, the limit order is going to be set right here at 45,586, guys. You have to wait for this candle to break and close below that level. But once it does break and close below that level, this is going to be the setup for the orb sell. I'm not taking the orb sell here because, like I said, my bullish bias here is still valid. So it's really up to you guys if you want to take this. Again, this has to close below. It can't be pushing back and forth. It has to have a clean close below this level. And then your limit order will be sitting right here at 45,586. So the candle did close right there, guys. You can place your limit order right there at 45,586 if you guys do want to take this as an orb sell. If price reaches its target down here before it comes back for the retest, then you have to cancel your order, right? So what you're looking for here is you're looking for price to come down, hit this level right here, or no, you're looking for price to come up, fill your order, and then come back lower. If price doesn't actually come back and fill and it just comes past this area and then it comes back up, then you have to cancel your order, right? There's two ways of entering this orb. You can either enter right here at this candle close, or you can wait for it to retest. One or the other. It's up to you guys. So trade for today is a sell for the orb, not in this orb position. I'll follow it with you guys here. I just don't think price here is meant to continue dropping. But I mean, who knows, right? My bias can change. It's just right now my overall market structure is still pretty bullish. So I'm not convinced to take anything opposite right now. But everything is starting to shift though. So if you it looks like if you're in this position right here, it looks like it already hit 30 points. So if it hit 30 points right there, guys, you should be moving your stop loss and profit to 10 points to guarantee basically 20% or so. So stop loss should be moved in profit. You guys don't have to do it, but if I was in this position, my stop loss would be moved in profit already. Hit 30 points, stop loss and profit at 10. I would have gone taken out right here at 10 points. Again, if you guys want to hold it though, you can hold it for the full move. So stop losses moved in profit already at this point. If I was in this position as an actual position, and I would have been out for 10 points. Let's see. Adam's asking momentum breakout is 29 candle continuous. You take it on the market open, Adam. So for the momentum breakout over here, you would have taken the entry as soon as this candle closed. So as soon as the 629 candle closed, you would have taken that sell. Reason why you would have taken that there is because there was a sell signal here. So this would have been the momentum breakout. Market open right here at 630. Right as soon as this candle closed between 629 630, you would have hit sold, or you would have just sold a contract, and then from there you would have taken this and wrote it down. So it's based off the whatever the momentum is pre-market. So the crossover between 629 and 630, basically like a few seconds before market opens up, you would take the sell there. All right, guys. So there's nothing here so far. Again, the orb here is still technically running. It's technically would have been stopped out in profit if it was my position because my trailing stop would have moved out at 30 points. So I would have been out of this position already. We'll keep following it to see if it continues to drop. But like I said, my overall market structure and overall bias here is still bullish. So I do think that there's going to be a correction up at some point. Might not happen right now, but I think at some point there's going to be a correction to the upside. So let me clean this up right here. I'm going to move this down to this lower low, and we'll see if we get a correction here. Price doesn't have to correct, but ideally I'd be looking for the correction. There was an MPS V2 over here as well, guys. It was pre-market, so obviously I don't think anybody would have taken that, but this was a pre-market MPS V2. There was a sell signal right here. Price retraced on this green candle, confirmed on this red one. And that right there would have been the MPS V2 entry. So there's basically three entries which came up, or four entries which came up today so far, guys. So we had the momentum breakout full TP for 50 points right there. Then we had an MPS V2 which came up here pre-market. We had a liquidity sweep right here off the liquidity slash Asia low. And then we had the orb over here run for a sell. Actually, the orb hasn't filled yet, guys. My bad. I just realized it never filled yet. I totally missed that. I thought it filled already. All right, so the orb actually just filled right now. I'm not in this position. Like I said, I think price is going to crack back up, so I'm not looking to take any sells here. So the orb here is now technically active. Just realized it hadn't filled yet. Let's see. Glenn is asking, do we have a strategy with orb mid-level? Price has rejecting this level multiple times before coming back down. I mean, yeah, that's one way of doing it, Glenn. There's a couple different ways to apply the orb, guys. You can place your stop loss at the ATR, which is 20, or you can place your stop loss at the mid opening range point, and then you can do a 1 to 2 from there. Or you can use a fixed target like what we're doing here for 2040, right? Or 4020. So there's a lot of different ways to do it right there, guys, depending on like what your criteria is or what you like to apply it as. So yeah, you can do it that way, Glenn, if you wanted to. That's just one way of setting up the stop loss at the mid range of the orb right there. So I can put a line there if you want to see where the number's at. It's at 45, 634. All right, guys. So I'm not in this position right here. The orb is running, but I'm not in the position like I mentioned. My bias for today is bullish, so I don't really want to fade my bias. If I'm looking for buys here, I'm going to be looking for buys. I'm not going to look for any short-term sells. I'm mainly looking for buys here, which we just don't have yet. Nice, Sam. Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but FTMO has reopened for US clients, so I'm probably gonna open up an FTMO account pretty soon. I'll be doing some swing trades on them. Yeah, Chris, I just saw your message. Yeah, I know. I totally missed it. I thought it was already filled, but yeah, we wouldn't have taken it. Plus, I mean, it's still running right now, actually. But I wouldn't have taken it myself because everything was pointing towards a buy for today. So I think this drop to the downside is all like it's just market manipulation. And then I think there's going to be a correction. Just in my opinion, that's just what I see. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm right or I'm wrong. That's just what I see there. All right, we don't got much going on here. So we got nothing going on here right now. I think the orb probably came down. Okay, so the orb over here hit the 30 again, guys. So the orb did hit the 30. Stop loss should be moved in profit to the 10. If you guys are writing this, I think it's going to hit the full 40 though. Yeah, it looks like the full 40 right there got hit. So if you guys caught that, nice work. It's on its way to the full 40, not there yet, but it's on its way still down further. If price breaks past this here, this could be a possible high-low break and retest off that lower low. So there goes the orb right there, guys. Full TP for 40 points if you guys caught that. Nice work. If you guys didn't catch it, completely fine. My overall bias here was still very bullish, so I wasn't convinced to take that trade there. So with that being the case, obviously I skipped it, but full TP right there. So pretty much every entry which has came up today so far has hit. There's another high-low break and retest, which is currently running right now down below. Price just broke past this level, just filled it again, and now it's running down lower. So again, if you guys are just joining in, a couple entries which came up, momentum breakout right here, full TP for 50 points, actually dropped down a full 100 there. So if you went for the 1 to 2, 100 points right there for the momentum breakout. The orb entry over here also filled for a sell. So we had price breaking close below right here, retested at this level. And then it came back down, hit full TP right there. Stop loss was moved in profit, but it didn't trigger. So the full 40 right there was hit. Looks like a lot of you guys here caught it. Daniel caught it right there. Uh, yeah, Danielson got the 40. Man, I did not like that price movement though. LOL, back and forth. Yeah, I agree. I didn't like the price movement either. It's a very tricky entry because I was expecting price to correct back up, of course. I mean, it might correct back up now at some point, but it was very tricky right there. So it looks like a lot of you guys here caught that. So nice work on catching that orb. Again, if you guys are just joining in, the orb hit full TP right there for 40 points. The momentum breakout right here hit full TP for 100 points. And then we had MPSV2 right here hit full TP for 40 points pre-market. Liquidity sweep right here, 40 points immediately after open. And then this is a high-low break and retest, which is moving in continuation to the downside. I'm not in any of these positions here. My bias is still very bullish, so I'm waiting for price here either to correct back up or, if price does shift back to the downside, then I'll be looking for some sells. But right now, I'm not really looking for any sells at the moment. Like the sells here are dropping, but this was not expected in the market. So earlier this morning, like everything was pointing towards a buy. Literally all trend, all market structure, overall conviction over here, everything was bullish. So what I see here is I'm expecting a possible correction back up at some point. Don't know exactly when it'll happen, but I do see I'm expecting it to happen at some point. It's just going to be a matter of time until that becomes the case. But I'm not forced to get into any positions here, of course. I'm taking my time. And then if I see something good, then I'll take it, of course, but no need to jump into anything unnecessary. So we got price coming back down. You guys can see the market here is very, very unpredictable, right? Very unpredictable. You can see over here, this thing it came down to its target almost. Then it swung all the way up, got almost close to stop loss right there, and now it's coming right back down. See, I don't like this type of market. It's very unpredictable. It's very, I don't know what's going to happen here, of course. I do think there's going to be a correction, but you can see over here that price is kind of just it's swinging back and forth very violently. So I'm not in this position here. I'm just following it for you guys. I'm gonna take this off because I don't want you guys to think I'm in it. I'll pull it back up once we get closer to like target or stop loss area. But right now I'm gonna leave it off because I don't want you guys to jump into this thinking that I'm in the position. If you guys want to take these positions here, taking my own risk. Again, my overall market structure bias and bias in general is bullish still. So I'm not really looking to hop into anything here that I don't feel 100% about. Nice work, Nick. Nick got it for 50 points earlier for that orb. So great work on catching that right there, Nick. Let me go and mark up market structure now. So I'm going to go and clean this up a little bit, move this lower, and I'm going to go ahead and mark up some market structure here because price has already moved along about quite a bit. So let's see. We have a resistance right here. Let's see. This was a support prior. Support turn resistance. This was also a support turn resistance. This right here is a resistance for me. And I think that's it for right now. Yeah, that's it for right now. Uh, we have a possible imbalance right here that's setting up. I might take that back. There was one, but it's no longer there. All right, so nothing here yet. All right, we got nothing here, guys. Again, price is still kind of just going back and forth. All right, we got prices going back and forth. I was hoping we had more direction today, but it's not looking like it. Looks like we might just have some more consolidation here as price moves along. Do you guys have any questions? Feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, I mean, we're kind of just gonna be waiting here for some direction here to be established. We got nothing going on here, guys. Price is going back and forth between this area. I'm going to keep marking up market structure as price continues to move along. As you can see, price is it's starting to establish a consolidation right here. Consolidation between these levels. I mean, there's a bigger level right here. Once I have a support level here marked up or identified, we can identify price kind of balancing between this area. I don't really have an established support yet, but if price does come back and retest this lower level right here, this could be a support level. I'll leave it like that just for now so that you guys can see, but it hasn't been established yet. So if it tests right here, so for example, if price comes down, bounces off this area, we can establish it as a support. If price ends up breaking below and comes lower, then obviously it's going to mitigate the support level there, right? So we did get a small test right there, but you guys can see here, there's not much going on. Price is just sitting right here down the middle. So just a lot of back and forth between this area. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. Again, if you guys are just joining in, there's a couple entries which have came up today and all hit TP. It's been a pretty good day overall if you took any of the entries. Momentum breakout over here, full TP for 100 points. This happened immediately on open at 6:30, so about 30 minutes ago this came up. If you guys weren't here at 30 minutes, so if you want to hop into this position here for the momentum breakout, just get onto this live session early enough because I do call it out every morning. And then right here, we have the orb entry, which hit full TP right there as well, 40 points. And then we had an MPSV2, liquidity sweep, and other than that, that was about it. That was about it for the most part. Let's go ahead and take a look at our overall daily outlook for the day. So what did I have here again? The bullish one obviously didn't play through. So intraday fade pullback. So right here it says rejection of 45,700. I mean, this didn't even play through either because price already came down below that pre-market or on market open. So what you might see here is, or this could still play out actually. So price pushes up to the 45,700, which is going to be up here. It might drop back down to the 45,500. So basically right here, what might happen is price may correct back up to the New York high and then drop back down here after. Basically a head and shoulders, right? A head and shoulders pattern. This might be the case if price flips. But we'll see. I mean, there's no for sure guarantee that's going to happen. We do have some news right here at 7 o'clock. It's going to be pending home sales. They are both forecasted to be positive. We'll see. All right. Looks like we might have a sweep right here. Sweep off this lower high. Price came up, swept the area right there. Now it's coming down further. I'd probably base it off the ATR, so like 25-25 would make more sense. I mean, the 40-40 can hit, but 25-25 is ideal. 25 already hit right there. So just a reminder, guys, if the The estimate tool right here is in blue. It's a sweep. If it's in green, that's a directional move. So two sweeps right here, basically. Sweep right there, sweep right there. This was a directional push earlier. We have an imbalance right here. Looks like price is bouncing off the imbalance. Yeah, so price is broken past the imbalance right there. We're currently on the news candle right now. So this is the 7 o'clock news candle. It's housing data. Right there, it was negative. So it's forecast to be positive. It's actually negative. That's why price is dumping right here. It's coming right back down. So we're having market reaction to news. Let's see if price breaks and closes past this box right here. It's going to mitigate this imbalance. Looks like it's about to. And this imbalance has been mitigated. So we're still stuck within this range here, guys. Again, if you guys want to take sweeps, you guys can take sweeps at the extremes, right? Take sweeps from up here or take sweeps from down here. Yeah, either area there. All right, we got nothing here yet so far, guys. All right, so basically I'm looking for price to swing out of this area. I'm looking for price to break out of this consolidation range right here, guys. This is not the best place to look for entries unless you're looking for sweeps. If you're just looking for sweeps, then okay, great. Look for your sweeps. But I wouldn't take any directional entries anywhere near this area. Like if I want to take some buys, I would need price to break out of here and provide entries somewhere up here. Or if I wanted to take sells, I would need price to break below here and provide entries somewhere down here. I don't want to take it too close because if you take it too close to this box down here, you can easily just get stopped out or price fakes out, which is likely to be the case, right? Because if it keeps ranging right here, obviously your best option is going to be to take sweeps, right? Take sweeps at the extremes from down here or from up here. Ideally, probably from up here because price looks like it's going to continue sitting in this box here. So. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. My job here is to help you guys really, because if there's nothing for me to take, I'm all ears if there's any questions that you guys have. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit around for a bit. I mean, obviously, I would love to take something here, but I'm not gonna force any entries. There's no need to force anything here. I'm just surprised the volatility is so low, especially with all that news that came out. So it is still dumping right there. All right, we got price coming back down to this lower support level. Again, if you guys want to take this as a liquidity sweep, I would take it at the extreme. All right, guys, another sweep right here looks like from that lower level. Like I said, I'd probably base it off the ATR, so like 25.25 would be ideal. Full TP right there again for another sweep. So just sweeps and back and forth from the directions that price is coming to and from. So again, right here, we just had a bunch of sweeps just come back and forth right here, guys. Basically, price broken close below the structure, establishes a consolidation range right here, sweep from down here. Just a bunch of sweeps, right? Just sweep. Again, if price comes back up, probably another sweep right there. This thing is good until it isn't, right? So like for me, unless you're like if unless you're familiar and you're experienced with taking sweeps, I wouldn't take them, right? Only take them if you're experienced because the last thing you want to do is take a sweep when the market is done sweeping and you're too late and then it ends up stopping you out, which happens to be a case for a lot of people who take the sweeps, right? For me personally, when I take sweeps, I only take like the first two sweeps or maybe even just the first one. Once it's swept already 4 times here, it's going to break out at some point, right? It's going to start to squeeze. So we're getting this big range right here. And then eventually it's going to start to squeeze and get tighter and tighter and tighter, and then it's going to break out. So just keep that in mind, guys. Very, you got to be very selective and very patient about the sweeps that you decide to take. And don't take every single sweep. I mean, you can if you want, but for the most part, you're better off just taking one or two sweeps that are high quality and make sense. We got price again just sitting right here. Like I said, once price starts to squeeze, it's going to break out at some point. So it's just a matter of time until it happens. All right, nothing going on right here. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we will continue to wait for price to break out of this area. I'm not looking for any trades within this range here. Connection lost. Connection lost. Not surprised. All right, guys, a whole lot of nothing happening here. You can see price here has been ranging, consolidating within this support resistance level for about, we'll say 30 minutes now. Over 30 minutes, actually, maybe 40 minutes, almost an hour now. We've had price just do nothing right here down the middle. Yeah, 45 minutes. So, yes, that's a connection loss. Which planet, bro? I know. When I get those connection loss, it's a hint that something is going to happen in the market, like in few, something unusual is going to happen. I mean, this usually happens when the market's either too volatile or if it's just flat and it's going to be praying for some sort of breakout. It's just something that I've noticed. I don't know if it's true or not, but for the most part, you guys have traded with me for a while. Whenever we get connection loss, I tend to see, it start to build up to a bigger move or something crazy. Not super crazy, but it's gonna break out of this dead period right here. Let's see, Sam is still looking to get in at 501. Yeah, so Sam's trying to get in for a sweep down here. He wants this drop a little lower, sweep off that 501 and come right back up. So the thing is, the volatility is not horrible right now. The ATR is still at 21. It's not like yesterday, right? Yesterday the ATR was at 14. It was super dead yesterday. Um, so we have volatility here. It's just there's no direction. So we're getting a lot of just back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, not much going on here, guys. Again, if there's anything you guys want me to cover, feel free to let me know. Let me take a look at NQ real quick. NQ is correcting back up. So NQ is pushing back up. Let's take a look at ES. ES is also pushing back up. So if that's the case, these might be leading and YM may follow at some point back up. It's only 7:14, guys. It feels like we've been in the market for so long, but it's literally only 7:14. Um, I'm surprised that the market's been dead for an hour now. It's this is a pretty long time for it to just be flat like this, especially this early in the session. If it was like 7:30, understandable. I expect market to be flat by 7:30, but right now it's 7:14 and it's been flat since market open. Market pretty much opened up right here at 6:30, dumped down a bit, and now it's been flat since. There's the orb right there. You can see the orb hasn't done much either. It's been going sideways. I mean, I wish there was some movement here. Just not quite. Oh, gotcha. So Sam's not looking for a sweep. He's looking for a liquidity hunt or stop loss hunt, basically. Yeah, I mean, if it ever breaks out of this area, we'll see. It looks like there may be another sweep right there. Again, I wouldn't test it that many times. This sweep's it's came up way too many times already. So at this point, I would probably just leave it as is. But there is another sweep right there, possibly setting up. Yeah, possibly setting up there. We got nothing going on here, guys. Price again still is just sitting there, no ups, no downs. Price is just staying flat right down this middle range. Looks like another sweep here has hit. Like I said, if you want to take the risk, you guys can take these sweeps here. But the thing with these sweeps is that you never know when it's going to stop, right? It's all fun until it's not. So another sweep right there based off the ATR, or a little above the ATR. The ATR is actually dropping now, guys. So earlier we were at a 24 ATR. We're now down to 20. So as this thing drops lower and lower, that's not a good sign. You don't want ATR to drop. You want it to go higher. Like you want it to stay up. So right now it picked back up to 21. Ideally, we want it to stay above 20. If it goes below 20, you're probably gonna get a sideways market for a bit. So just sweeps back and forth right here, guys. Again, if you guys have remembered, my playbook for daily trades are one directional strategy, one sideways strategy, and one breakout strategy, right? High-low break and retest for directional entries, sweeps for sideways entries, and for breakouts, 2-minute momentum orb. These already hit. So the momentum orb hit full TP for 100 points. That was right here. The 2-minute momentum orb hit full TP for 40 points right there as well. MPSV2 hit right here. And then a bunch of sweeps over here throughout the day. So sideways strategy. So pretty much everything here is pretty much lined up. I just, I haven't taken any sweeps here because ideally I'm looking for price to push back up. I guess I could take sweeps here from, this area, but I'm not going to take that risk. I'm looking for more of a directional push here to continue on. So let me put some more, mark up some more liquidity there as price continues to move along and create structure. All right, so still nothing here, guys. Let's see. Adam's asking, in the last years, did you trade way more? Did way more trade months? Wait, sorry, let me read your questions, Adam. And in last years, you did way more trade months as now. May I ask why? Do you select now very strong or what? Sorry, Adam, I don't understand your question. Are you asking if I took more trades before? I'm gonna try to reread your question again. In the last years, did you way more trade months as now? Sorry, yeah, Adam, if you could rephrase that, I think you're asking if I traded more in the previous months. I mean, there's a dash there, so I'm not sure why the dash is there, but yeah, if you want to rephrase the question so I can understand what you're asking. Um, May I ask, do you select now very strong or what? Okay, I think I get your question, Adam. So you're asking basically, did I trade more in the last years compared to now? And is it because I'm looking for more strong entries? Okay, gotcha, Adam. So Adam is here. Thanks for clearing that up. So you said in previous years you traded more than now. What's the reason? Yeah, I'm looking for more high quality entries. Back then I was taking a lot more entries, taking a lot more risk. Now I'm looking for more high quality entries because back then I would take more trades, but then I would also take more losses, right? So, and I was trading with a negative risk to reward. So I was trading with a 1030 TP stop loss. I mean, it worked out well, but when you took a loss, it would set you back quite a bit. So. Yeah, now I'm t trading a lot less and I'm trading with a different risk reward. I'm doing a 1 to 2 now. So obviously you're trading a higher risk reward, you're going to have a lower win rate, but you'll in time make more profit long term. So I'm looking for higher quality entries with a wider target than what I did before. Before we were going for 10 points, so we could take 10 points here and there, right? It's easy to catch 10 points. Um, But like I said, it was a lot more trades, and when you have a loss, it would set you back quite a bit. So like, yeah, I'd have like maybe 10 wins and then 2 losses, and it's like that's technically about like 40 points there net. So that'd be equal to like one normal trade that I would take here. So the profits are a little different. It's just that now that I'm able to take higher quality trades, I'm taking more risk, like more contract sizes. So that's the main reason um why I'm taking less trades because I'm more selective with my entries, looking mainly for the high quality entries versus the lower quality medium entries. Plus the volatility kind of died down a bit as well. Yeah, Glen City had a lot better than the 1030. The 1030 was fine though. It was perfectly fine. It just isn't for everybody, right? Like I did a 1030 TP stop loss for years. I think for like 4 years straight, if not longer. And we did really, really well, but not everybody did well, right? I did well because I knew what I was doing. I was able to get in and out of those positions very quickly. But a lot of other people, they weren't fast enough. They didn't know what to do and they didn't know how to follow along. So um, yeah, not everyone did well with the 1030 splits. I mean, I did. I did it live, so everyone saw how I did, but not everyone else. It takes skill to trade like that to really scalp 10 points very quickly in and out of the market very like because you don't have time to think, right? If you're going for 10 points, you don't have time to set up a limit order. You don't have time to think about anything. It's like if you see it happening, you just got to take it right away. And that was one thing that was a problem for a lot of people. Not everyone had the ability to identify these quick scalps like I did. So yeah, which, for me, it was high stress. So I decided to stop trading that way. I did make a lot of profit trading that way over the years, but it's way more high stress than this. Because for this, we're kind of just waiting for the trades to come to me. When I was trading the 1030 scalps, like I would literally just watch quick price action. Like I would look for the smallest things and then I would get in very quickly, get my 10 points, get out, look for something quickly. Like for example, right here, see how price is in this downtrend? I would have scalped 10 points like all throughout these bounces here. Price came down to the pivot, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. That'd be like, 50 or 60 points right here, but I would be in high stress because whenever price would turn against me, I'm like, that one trade would just knock out 3 wins or even 4 wins because you have to factor in the commission and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, back then that was like, it was fun. It was fun. The volatility was high and it was easy. So, let me show you the 1030. So, if you're doing 1030, it's really easy to catch these 10 points. But once you get hit pretty hard. So, for example, here, say I would take 10 points there. 10 points there, 10 points there, 10 points there. I would just keep hitting it 10 points, 10 points, 10 points. And then eventually it would swing up on me, like this, for example, right? So this would actually hit 10 points. But again, right here, if I ended up holding on and I try to get in again right here, this is where it would stop me out. The thing with that is that I would already have like 6, 7 wins. So having one loss for 30 points wouldn't be a big deal. I still would be up net 40. But you know, that thing would really mess with your trade psychology, especially if you have like two back-to-back losses, then you would be too scared to take the next entry. Yeah, if you ever look back at my previous live sessions from like I guess like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I used to trade that way, and it was it was pretty fast paced. We applied a lot of strategies back then. I think we were applying, BV3s, which are breakout V3s. We were applying momentum scalps, pivot scalps, etc. Like pretty much I applied every strategy I could think of that I created over the years just for those quick 10-point moves. Yeah, for those of you who still want to trade that way, I mean, feel free to trade. It's not for me anymore. It was a lot of work, a lot of headache, a lot of over trading for sure. The thing is, like, Apex likes when you trade that way, though, because they want you to be in and out of the positions very quickly. The only thing so that was a big problem too. So with Apex, they were okay with it in the beginning, but then those trades would only run for like a few seconds, and then they added that rule where you had to hold on to a position for at least like 4 seconds. So, um, so unfortunately, I got denied a lot of payouts in the beginning because of that, because their copier couldn't copy my trades. Yeah, those trades would happen very quickly. It's like fill TP, fill TP, fill TP. Um, Let's see. Ark is asking, since we got a 1 to 2 risk to reward, do you think we could make a living just with momentum breakout, or is it just on a roll lately? I mean, you can, but you got to stick to that one strategy. I mean, it kind of depends on like what you're trying to take, Ark. I mean, the momentum breakout's pretty much been hitting majority of the time, like every day for the past like, couple months now. The thing with the momentum breakout is that it's just like any other strategy arc. Like it's not one of those strategies that's going to work all the time. Like there's going to be periods where you have back-to-back losses, and if your risk is too high, you're going to blow your account, right? So yeah, I mean it's a yes and no question to you because yeah, you can easily make a living. Like, I ran the whole hedge fund prior on just the breakout, right? From basically November of last year up until February, I was running just the breakout and it was working out perfect. The thing is, we did have some points in time where we had like, 3 or 4 back-to-back losses and that would eat into the account. But if you had enough capital to survive that, then you would be perfectly fine. So yes, uh, from experience, you could live just off the breakout, but you would have to be selective about your entries for sure. I don't think I would take every single entry that comes up. Like for example, the breakout for today, I wouldn't have taken this one, even though it was a nice win right there, because my bias was for a buy. So it's just up to preference. You can take every trade or you can take selective trades. Either way, it's going to balance out. But you have to take every single entry or every single entry that comes up that meets your criteria. Let's see. Big C's asking, what are your thoughts on order flow, depth of market? I don't use it, but I'm trying to learn. Many traders swear by it. Um, so I would say it's just another tool, right? It's another tool. So if it works to your advantage or it's helpful to you, then like yeah, definitely use it. I tried to get into order flow as well. Um, depth to market as well. I used to have what did I have? I had like the level 2 data on my Ninja Trader where I could see the orders. And for me personally, I just felt like it was too much. It was like it confused me more than it helped me. Because I would see an entry and then I would look at the order flow and I'm like, oh, this looks like it's not going to play out or it's going to reverse on me. And then I would skip it and then the trade would hit. And I'm like, damn, I should have just taken the trade, right? Um, so I would say, those tools are good if they help in favor of your strategy. For me personally, it didn't really help me. It made me think twice about my entry and I would just skip a lot of entries that hit. So, it's a two-sided question. It just kind of depends on like if it fits with your specific strategy type. I've seen a lot of people who swear by it and they suck using it, to be honest. Like there's some people who are really good using it. There's some people who like they talk like they know what they're doing, but they really don't. Um, so I personally I just haven't found someone who could really teach me how to use it properly. I think that's what the case is. I mean, I could probably learn on my own, but I don't want to go through all that effort to learn another tool that I don't necessarily need because I'm doing just fine without it. So yeah, I mean, if you guys want to check it out, I do think it's worth checking out. I can't say for sure how useful it is because I don't use it myself, but I'm sure it's useful to an extent. It's just on the way I trade, it's just not necessary because I'm trading momentum, so like I'm already following the momentum anyways. Like for example, here, I was able to see that the market was dead without any extra tools, right? You can see here I have this consolidation that I've marked up and it's been running in this consolidation for over an hour now. It's been running for an hour five. See, here's the thing. Like I know some people who trade order flow and they'll see this happening and they're going to be looking for they're looking for price to bounce off certain areas. Like they're looking at this here and they're looking at the order flow to see if like there's a lot of buyers. And I still see a lot of people still get stopped out of those positions, even if they have that tool helping them. So there's no holy grail tool, right? It just depends on like how that tool is helpful to your analysis specifically. Yeah, I'm sure it gives an edge, but yeah, for me, I don't know. I can't vouch for it unless I found to to have it help. Because like, look, let's take a look. Let me open order flow on here right now. I can open the order flow candle. Well, they're not legit order flow, but they're still volume footprints.
Connection lost.
Another connection lost. Weird. Okay, so see right here, like if you want to look at the order flow here, I tried to use it. Like, trust me, I tried really hard to like this tool, but it just never really worked out in my favor. It never like I never understood it properly. So for example, right here, I mean, I guess you could see right here the delta kind of flipped to 97. You could have taken this up for a buy in this direction, or um, see the way that I would use the order flow is I'd look at the delta right here. So when I see it flip, then I would take, a trade in that direction. So for example, right here, see the delta was so big, it was like 233. Ideally, this would be a sign of a reversal. But you can see here, I mean, it did push up a little bit, but it wasn't a full-on reversal. It just pushed up a little bit and it came back down. Yeah, like, it's kind of useful, but not super useful. It just kind of depends on like how you use it or look at it. But yeah, I've never really been a big user of it. But no, I've seen everybody kind of like how ICT used to be like a huge thing. I feel like order flow is now the new thing that everybody's kind of like gravitating towards. Initially, it was like everybody was like all into ICT and smart money concepts or whatever it is, whatever you guys want to call it. And now everybody's like, oh, we need order flow. So I don't really follow the hype like that. I feel like there's a lot of hype around trading. There's always a time and period where people are like really hyped about one tool or like one specific strategy and stuff like that. Like fair value gaps, right? Fair value gaps are very popular right now. Um, Fair value gaps they're not new. They're just imbalances that have been rebranded as fair value gaps. Uh, because I've been trading for a long time. I've been trading for 12 years now. So I see the hype. Like I see when something gets hyped up very big and you see a lot of influencers kind of push it. Um, but then it dies out, right? Well, like in another year or 2 years, what's going to be the next big thing? Our moving average is going to be back to being popular again, right? There's always something that's new and there's always something that people like to use. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So yeah, let's go back to the other questions over here. Hey Shiv, Shiv's asking, how's your little one doing, bro? She's doing good and she's big. She's really big actually. She's growing super quick. So I mean, luckily I'm able to get some sleep. My wife's been taking over for me a lot of these days. Past couple days have been kind of rough though. Like I got up super late yesterday because I had to watch her. Like it's like the schedule is so it's never linear. Like yesterday I watched her basically from like 12 to 1. I slept for like an hour, woke up at 3, watched her from 3 to 4, and then I had to wake up for the live session at 5, and I slept through my alarm, or my alarm didn't go off. So I ended up coming on this live session like, an hour late or 30 minutes late. It's a challenge. It's a challenge, but it's fun. It's fun and, wouldn't trade it for anything. Anyways, guys, prices it's finally breaking out of this lower range right here. Not really established anything yet, but it is still not broken and closed past this level. Adam said that's why you're part-time trade, full-time father. Yeah, exactly, Adam. That's a good thing about trading. That's why I like trading so much because you can do this part-time. Like a lot of people argue that you have to be on the charts all day. Maybe when you first start, yeah, you got to be on the charts all day, but like eventually once it starts to click and make sense, you don't really have to be on the charts at all, right? I'm on the charts between 6:30 and 8. So this gives me an hour and a half to focus on trading, and then after that I can go do whatever I want. All right, we got price breaking, closing past the structure right here. Let's see if price actually continues to hold. Um, so I have a new resistance right here, actually. It's like, so I got a new resistance right here. We got price dumping a little bit. So if this here ends up closing, guys, we're gonna have an imbalance that sets up right here. All right, so we do have an imbalance right here. I'm gonna mark this up so that you guys can see. This is an imbalance. I'm gonna try to clean this up as much as I can. All right, so we got price dumping down like here, right here, a little bit lower. Looks like price is reaching for that 501 you were looking for, Sam. Let's see, question from G. G's asking, hey Sean, I saw that you checked ES and NQ. I usually check Russell 2000 also because it has a lot of financials, regional banking, and it was very similar to YM a lot of the time. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you. Usually, so this is like the level. So like YM is like the most volatile um out of basket index. So YM is the most volatile at basket index. Second most volatile. And yeah, the Russell 2000 is the least volatile. Because so the thing is like ES is like the or they call it RTY, right? RTY is the actual. Yeah, because YM has 30 stocks, ES has 500, and the Russell has 2000. So like yeah, they tend to follow each other. Like ES is like YM's little brother, and then Russell is like ES's little brother. So yes, I agree with you too with that. I don't really look at it too much, but I guess we can take a look at it. Yeah, I mean it moves very, very slow, but it's a lot more consistent. So like yeah, if you're looking for those slower moves, the Russell could be a good confluence with it. I typically, the confluences that I'll look at would be Russell and ES. So I look for all of these to kind of align with each other. And if one of them moves opposite of the other, then it's usually going to follow in that direction, right? So YM is dropping, Russell is dropping, and then ES over here is starting to flip up. So it's still dropping as well, but it's trying to flip to the upside. So if it does flip to the upside, then I would expect YM and the Russell to follow. So yeah, no, I don't look at it normally because I just look at ES. ES is like the closer asset to it. But yeah, I mean it's something that we can look at in the future, of course. Yeah, G said in something else, if you check VWAP, it looks like YM keeps rejecting off the first deviation, which is interesting to see. Yeah, we could take a look at the VWAP. Yeah, so it looks like it was rejecting off the first deviation over here like a lot earlier, like around 647. It hasn't rejected off the first deviation in a while. But yeah, typically, if I see the rejection off the first deviation, I would expect this to be mean reversion back to VWAP, right? Ultimately back to opening price. So I don't see it here yet off that first deviation. I mean, it was getting close to it, but not exactly. It was rejecting off it down here, which of course it did reject off it and came back up, but I haven't seen it come down here just yet. Not more recently, and I think I have it set to one and two, right? Let me check my settings. Oh no, okay, so I don't actually have the one on. I have the two and three. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, the one is a little too close for me. That's why I don't really like having the one open. I usually have it at the two and three. That's why mine's a little farther off. I have more of the extremes here. But you can see when price does reach the extremes, it does bounce off it. Yeah, because I feel like the one tests a lot. That's why for me, I just get the ones that are farther out. But yeah, no, they're good confluences. They're good confluences for a possible switch and reversal back to the upside. All right, so this imbalance has invalidated. There's a new imbalance which is pending right here right now. So another imbalance right here to the buy side actually. All right, guys, still nothing here right now. Price is still doing a whole lot of nothing. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. As you can see over here, price is still consolidating sideways right here. Still going back and forth with no avail. Yeah, Sam said all of this weight, and this is what YM does before 501. I know it didn't even get to your 501. It got close to it, but not quite, Sam. And it looks like it's now pushing up for that correction. Let's see. Big C said, I actually really do like moving averages. Some people swear by levels, but when you watch the chart price, it'll bounce off the 20 or the 50 angled the other way every time, especially in higher time frames. Yeah, exactly. For me, I would never knock a tool. Guys, like, I always see a lot of people that knock tools, right? They always hate on moving averages or they hate on MACD or they hate on any of these tools that people use. But the thing is, these tools have been around forever. And of course, they're not going to be an end all be all. They should be used as confluences or, in addition to your own strategy. For me, I take my entries based on price action, right? I'm looking for breaking close past structure and then a retest. I just use these tools here that I've created to help me identify certain things. Like for example, I created my pivots here to identify trend very quickly, so I don't have to go and draw my trend lines. Um, I created this high-low indicator to identify highs and lows without having to go and do it manually, right? It makes it so much easier for me to identify high lows without having to do it by hand. Uh, Other than that, there's also I mean, there's just a lot of tools here that I use. My momentum tool here, like this is probably, the strongest tool that has I guess it's not something else that you can find that's very similar to this. Because my momentum tool here, I combined a lot of different tools into one to give me that specific signal there. Everything else is pretty much standalone, right? High lows, the trend meter, the trend, all that stuff. That stuff is like a one type of tool. Except the pivots too. So pivots are a combination of like a couple different things that I put together. That's why they move a lot faster compared to like a regular moving average. They're very static with price. So you can see whenever price closes, it's pretty close. Like you see my rejections off my pivots. On moving averages, you'll see rejections happen so often, but on my pivots here, they're very spot on with those rejections and they don't repaint. So once the candle closes, it doesn't repaint after that. So for example, right here, see how this rejection off this pivot 4? See, when I used to trade 1030 splits, I used to take 1030, 10-point moves off these little rejections, right? It's a quick 10 points right there, easy money. Yeah, Big C said, I'm just surprised that very few futures traders use any MAs. I know it's just it's frowned upon. I don't know why people frown upon MAs. They're very useful. The thing is the moving averages are good for a lot of things. Like they're good to identify trend. They're good to identify rejections. I mean, I'm with you, Big C. I don't understand why people don't like them so much. It's because like a lot of people keep talking shit about them, and the thing is they're actually really useful. So I mean, to one like everyone has a different trading style and everyone has a different idea and opinion on stuff. But for me, I think moving averages have been super useful all throughout my trading journey. Yeah, G said, yeah, you can see it clearly on my charts, good confidence to get an idea if it's gonna build momentum or breakthrough or not. Yeah, no, definitely 100%. Just like with any other tool, you can use other assets to peg against whatever you're trading to use it as a confluence or an inverted confluence. Just to see, like G mentioned, R2I over here, we could take a look at this. This thing's been dropping, right? This thing's been dropping. ES is actually flipped. So this is where it becomes kind of tricky because ES is flipped, the Russell is dropping, and YM over here is still dropping. So this is going to be a tough call because, if you're looking at three different assets like that and you're trying to figure out which one is leading, um, it's going to be hard to tell because ES is going up and Russell is going down. CG said sent a link. Uh, yeah, where'd you send your link, G? I don't see it. You can send it on the Discord if you want. It's probably gonna be easier. Or you can even send a screenshot here of your chart if you want to. I know YouTube's kind of hard. You have to post a link, but it might I don't see it on there, so it might have hit it. Let's see. Gumdrop's asking on average, how many orb trades do you take per month? Um, I mean, it depends on the month. Like here, let's see. For this month, we took one, two, three, four, five, six. So six for August. This is probably one of the least amounts that we've taken. For July, we took one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like 14 for July. And one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 14 for June. So I would say, on average, it'd be closer to like maybe the 14 range for the month. And there's only so many trading days for the month, so it's not like there's no 31 trading days to trade it. You can only trade it so many days. Here, let's see. We'll do 5 times 4. Yeah, there's only like 20 trading days in a month, so 14 would be on the higher end. Lower end probably be closer to 10. So it kind of just depends. So here's my loss from yesterday, guys. Not a huge loss, lost about 33,000. It happens. These are my stats so far. I'm still up 130,000 for the month, so it's still okay. But I took that loss on the chin right there. I should have avoided that trade. That was a FOMO trade for me yesterday when I took that high-low break and retest. Market was pretty flat like it is right now. Like this would be a horrible time to take a high-low break and retest. And I don't know, I just felt like taking a trade yesterday and I FOMOed into it. So it's all good. Take that little loss there. I just need one win this week to bounce back, recoup that loss and make profit on top of it since I'm trading a 1 to 2. But again, guys, there's nothing going on here. Like I said, price here is still consolidating sideways between this middle box. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I don't think anything's going to happen here in the next 10 minutes, so I'm probably going to wrap this up pretty soon, unless we have more questions. It is, for the most part, I mean, it's probably gonna go sideways here for a bit. Again, yeah, no problem, Gumdrop. Let's see. Adam is asking, why do you do live trading? Is it so that people can copy trade you? No, so initially I only did live trading for transparency so that people can see that I actually trade and I'm not like a lot of other people out there who are just like showing replays. Like I do actual live trading. This is mainly for like I started live trading years ago because I already had a goal to start a hedge fund at some point in the future. And that's why I started the hedge fund this year. If anybody wants to go back and vet how I trade, they can look back at any of my live trading sessions, right? Here, let's see. So it was mainly to create transparency for my trading so that it shows that like I actually trade. Like I don't have like one video with like some live trading. I have thousands of videos here, right? I've been live trading for like 8 years now. So you can see I have a total of 2,000 videos. I don't know anybody else who has more live trading than me. I mean, you guys can check. I don't know anybody in the YouTube space or in the space in general who has more public live trading videos than I do. This is mainly to show my transparency that I know how to trade and that I can like stay consistent over the years, right? And that's like what I'm doing with the hedge fund. So now, like whenever I have people who want to sign up to the hedge fund and they want to see your performance or statistics and stuff, I'm not just showing numbers of like, oh, here are my stats for last year, right? Because anybody could do that. Anybody could make fake stats to show you like I can say I was like 70% win ratio last year and I had like 1,000 wins and like a few losses. That doesn't really show you someone that you can actually trade. For me, I have like all these live trading sessions. So, you can go back and you can review something from like last year. Like you can go 4 months back and watch my live session here. And then you can see that I do the same exact thing that I'm doing today, right? Same exact live session, same exact tools. It's not like I'm changing strategies every week. Literally, I'm trading exactly the same way year after year. So it just shows that I have consistency and it shows that that I know what I'm doing. So that's the main reason why I trade live. I mean, also, of course, people can follow and copy my trades, but for the most part, my main goal moving forward is really not necessarily to teach or mentor. I don't really teach or mentor as much. It's mainly to bring interest to my hedge fund so that people can invest in the hedge fund. I can trade their money and then multiply their money, and I take a percentage of that. It's just easier that way. Obviously teaching people and mentoring is a lot of work, also takes a lot of time. For me, I personally would just like to trade and then split profits with people who are investing in my fund. So I also signed up to Collective too. So if you guys have heard of Collective, I added my, or it's not on here anymore, but I added my account to Collective. So basically all of my trades are going to be uh, documented on here, Cody Kai Capital Fund. And basically all my trades that are going to be taken from now up until whenever are going to be on here. So this is another website. If people want to copy my trades, they would just attach their account to here and then it would copy over to their account. And they pay a fee for this. So again, everything, my goal here moving forward, or like my goal from back then was really to focus on just trading, not really teaching or any of that stuff. And that's kind of where it's taken me. So yeah, it's years and years of collective data here. It took me a long time to start building this up. When I first started, I had like maybe 10 or 20 live trading session videos. And now if anybody wants to vet me, they can just go back and watch my live trading sessions. So I have a whole library there of trading every single day. All right, guys, 754 right now. So we don't really have much here. Again, price here is still kind of just sitting. Looks like Sam finally got his 501 right there. So nice work right there, Sam. It looks like Sam is but you were looking for the continuation, right, Sam? Because I mentioned that you were going to take the sweep and you said you were looking for the hunt there. No? So you're looking for it to drop further? Unless you change your analysis and now you're looking for the sweep. Because initially I thought you were looking for the sweep, which makes sense. Right? If you went for the 20 right there, full TP. Yeah, I'm assuming you just changed your analysis on that because, yeah, if you took it the other way, you would have gone stopped out, which I'm hoping you didn't. I'm hoping you went in that direction. Gumdrop, did you not hear what I said? I said I just set up the collective. Every trade from today on is going to show on here. That's why it shows no trades. You like so that just went over your head, bro. Obviously it shows no trades because I just set this up today. That's why there's not going to show anything there. Let's see what Sam did. Nice. Yeah, Sam said sweep is always a sweep. Yeah. So I figured you're gonna go for the sweep right there. All right, guys. I don't think there's anything else here right now. It is 7:55, so we're getting closer to 8 o'clock. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to hop into the chat right now. If you guys don't have any questions right now, you're always welcome to put your questions in the Discord. I'm on the Discord pretty much all day, so if there's any questions that come up, I'll answer your questions. Over here for G, he sent over his screenshot. Let's take a look at it real quick. Okay, cool. So yeah, looking over at G, his so I'm trying to see what you got on your screen here. Looks like you got volume up here. So you're looking at that volume outlier, and then you have your VWAP right here. Yeah, see how you have the initial VWAP, the standard deviation one? I don't like having the deviation one here because it tested a lot. It's not as extreme as the deviation two. The deviation two right here is actually pretty good. That's why I like catching the bounces off the deviation two back into the VWAP. See what else you got down here. Looks like you got the RSI down here. Nice. Yeah, solid tools right here. I'm familiar with all of this stuff. I've been trading for so long. I've used every single tool you can think of. I've applied almost every strategy you can think of. I'm always trying to improve my edge. So, yeah, you got a pretty nice setup right here. Very simple, very straightforward. efficient use of the tools. Yeah, so yeah, it looks like it's continuing to drop lower. Again, if I would see the bounce here, I'd probably look for price to come down to the deviation two and then push right back up. So nice chart right there. Gee. Yeah, G, so the first fan is what I was pointing out, but catching the balance between the first and second are also good strategy. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I mean, it's the same thing, right? It's the same concept. It's just if you're going for that bigger move, I would go off the standard deviation two and then ride this up to the VWAP. If you're going for that really big move, otherwise you can always catch the trades between the deviations, right? Bounce off deviation two, back to deviation one. Bounce off deviation one, back to deviation two. That works really well in a sideways market. Like right now, sideways market, so it works pretty much similar to support resistance. Let's see. I think that might be it, guys. So it is 7:58 right now. Again, I don't see any other questions here, so I think we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. But yeah, again, if you guys are just joining in or if you guys didn't see all the trades that came up today, we had the momentum breakout, which hit full TP right here. That was a full TP on the momentum breakout. Looking over here on the orb over here also full TP for 40 points. For today on the main chart, we had an MPS V2 which came up here pre-market. That was a directional move, and then everything else has been sweeps. I personally don't take the sweeps as much, so I didn't take any of these sweeps here, but it looks like a lot of you guys here caught that move. Looks like Rev caught it, Sam caught it, a couple other people caught it as well. So good profits on that trade right there, guys. Again, this was the extreme. Like I mentioned, if you're going to take sweeps, take them at the extremes. Don't take them down the middle, but take them at the extreme ends of the top and the bottom because your odds are going to be a lot more likely to hit if you do take them from those points. All right, guys, I think that's it. It's about to be 8 o'clock. My trading session is done for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. One more question from Sam. He's asking, what's the reference for your deviation? It's a +1 and a -1, or a +1 +2 -2 +2. Sam, it's a standard. It's a one of the settings on the VWAP. If you turn on the VWAP, you just set your standard deviation. And it should be set up already. Like this is. Let me go to a clean chart. Okay, so let's go over here, or I'm trying to go to like a clean chart where I don't have anything at all. I think I have one here that's called testing. Okay, test. Okay, turn all this stuff off here. I was testing a strategy. I'm always testing new stuff here. But yeah, I take everything off and then just go on 1 minute. Yeah, so if you just go to the default VWAP tool, it'll have it technically set with a standard deviation one, but you can just turn on the band multiplier to 1 and 3. I just have it set to standard deviation of like 1, 2, and 3. Those are like the common ones to use, but you can always change it however you like. There's like a di couple different settings right here. So like, yeah, G has it set to 3, or he has it set to 1, but I usually don't follow the 1 because I feel like it's too close. And I just take off the 1 and I look at the 2 right there. But I mean, it's up to you however you want to set it up. Sam's asking, so sweep at deviation can have higher probability. She said, I think he's asking if you manually anchor the VWAP or you. Yeah, I use the automated one. I don't anchor it myself. So what I do is I'll have the VWAP set up, and if you want to have your your liquidity marked up there, you can use that as a confluence. So for example, here you have the VWAP, plus you have it. If it lines up with your liquidity, then perfect. It'd be a perfect sweep for you there. So yeah, there's different ways of applying it, but for me, I don't anchor it. I just have it set to automated, and then I have my liquidity levels that are already on the chart. So yeah, if that was the case and you had VWAP right there set up with band multiplier one, I mean, we wouldn't use band multiplier one because it's so high, but you get the idea. All right, guys. I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, today was a pretty okay day across the board. Well, market-wise, not a great day because it's been just consolidating for the past 2 hours, basically. Hasn't done anything this entire session. I was really hoping we get some directional move because of the news today, but it just wasn't the case. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up.